Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Now in this video I'm going to give my thoughts on the general election that's going to take place here in Ireland on the 8th of February. Now I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually not sure who I'm going to vote for. There's not that many good candidates that kind of jump out at me, and that's one of the biggest problems with this really, is that you see all the candidates so often and a lot of them do really lackluster jobs, so there's very few that kind of jump out as someone new and someone different. You always get the same kinds of people, which is boring, I think. One of the biggest problems I've had with this is that it wasn't announced with that much time between the start of the campaign and election day, so it doesn't give you any time to really campaign properly. Now this clearly favours Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael and Sinn Féin in the fact that they clearly knew well in advance of the actual election date, so they were ready to go, and like with the campaign posters they were up like that with those three parties. But when it came to the other parties, they're still scrambling to be up there ready to go. So it does hurt smaller parties and independent candidates. It actually hurts their ability to campaign. So bit sneaky there, lads. Now, while I don't know who I'm going to vote for at the end of the day, I do know who I'm not going to vote for. Do not vote for Fine Gael. I mean, these guys, they're basically a bunch of headless chickens trying to run the country, and it's not working out. I mean, let's go through them. Some of the main guys. Leo Varadkar, the Taoiseach. He can't seem to lead at all. I mean, there's no enthusiasm about him. There's no charisma. And like, you kind of need that to be pretty much the Prime Minister in Ireland. Simon Harris, Minister for Health. I mean, we keep seeing scandal after scandal hitting this guy. He doesn't seem to care about any of them. And like, big example, the cervical check scandal. That's still going on, and he still doesn't really show remorse for that. Like, he seems to get worse and worse at that job with experience, which doesn't make any sense in reality, but he's somehow managing to do that. Charlie Flanagan, Minister for Justice. Ironic, because he doesn't actually believe in justice. He actually wants to get rid of due process in a lot of cases. He only really cares if people are getting offended rather than people actually getting hurt. And we can actually see that with the increase in assaults around the country, but especially in Cork. There's a serious question being raised. Is Cork a safe place? A lot of people are going, no, not really. And that's kind of really surprising. That's happening under this guy's watch, and he doesn't seem to care. Simon Coveney, Minister for Foreign Affairs. Now, I will give this guy a little bit of credit. He has improved a bit. Like, he still struggles to do the job, though. And his problem was that he used to just say stuff that made no sense, and then really failed to walk them back when he realised he said something stupid. But then he just kept saying stupid stuff. Now he's slowed down a lot with that. Hasn't really done much lately in terms of that problem, but it really is something important to raise. It's like, this is the guy that's responsible for interacting with other countries, and he's embarrassing us. Owen Murphy, Minister for Housing. The housing crisis is getting worse and worse. Not much else to say, really, on him. Now I'm going to add another guy. It's Fintan McGrath. Fintan McGrath, he's an independent, he's not Fine Gael, but he's the Minister for Disability Issues. This guy clearly doesn't care about those with disabilities, especially with kids with disabilities. And he's kind of shown that over and over. And it's horrifying. So, to make a long story short, this is a horrible government, led by a bunch of idiots. Now, there have been a couple of polls done on this election, and they pretty much all showed the same thing. They showed that, Fine Gael are down by a hell of a lot. It looks like they're going to seriously struggle to get second place in this election. Sinn Féin are actually, like, one poll had Fine Gael at 20% and Sinn Féin at 19%. So it's basically competition for second place between those two. Fianna Fáil, they're up quite a bit, and that's kind of a bit nerve-wracking for me. It's a bit mind-boggling, because this government is essentially a coalition between Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. Like, yeah, it's not only Fine Gael, even though Fine Gael hold a lot of the top jobs in it. Fianna Fáil aren't innocent in this by any stretch of the imagination. And also the polls show that smaller parties and independent candidates are struggling to kind of get awareness of themselves out there, which again is a problem with the whole thing of having no time to campaign. Now, a lot of this kind of goes in. This election is kind of showing the faults in the Irish political system, and it has quite a few problems. I want to just quickly raise up 3 points, 3 of the main problems that I've seen. First off is the lack of trust. There's a serious lack of trust between the major parties, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, Sinn Féin, and the people they are supposed to represent. Now, bear in mind this actually goes both ways. Parties don't listen to the people, and people have actually stopped paying attention to the politics of the country in general. And this has actually led to Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael not being held accountable by the people that they're supposed to represent. Another one is habit. I find people are voting for these parties out of habit. Like, they vote for Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael because that's what they've always done. And like, they haven't really paid attention to what's been going on in successive governments over the years between these two parties. This leads to no accountability from the people of these two parties. And last is that there's no will to reform the system. There's no will in the political parties to change the political system. But of course, why would they? It's working for them. Like, why would they care if it doesn't work for anyone else? And when I say anyone else, I mean everyone else. Not just the smaller parties and the independent candidates, but for us, the people. And the Irish political system is in serious need of reform. So, to conclude, again, I want to say this: I don't actually know who I'm voting for. There are a couple of people I have my eye on. I'm looking into them, doing my research. But right now, I do not have my decision made. But again, I do know who I'm not going to vote for, and that's Fine Gael. The political system in this country needs a serious reform. And the smaller parties and candidates are hidden. They're hidden behind the larger parties. They're hidden behind the Fianna Fáils. They're hidden behind the Fine Gaels. And this kind of election, especially with the short amount of time and how prepared the bigger parties were in terms of getting all their stuff up, it smells of political corruption. And I have a gut feeling this whole election campaign is going to smell of that. And that's pretty much the reason why the system needs to be reformed. It's corrupt as hell. And that needs to change. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. And also, what's your opinion on this election? Put it in the comment section down below. I'm actually really interested to see what you guys think of this. And who are you guys going to vote for? What candidates have piqued your interest? And why have they piqued your interest? And if you guys like the content that I'm making, hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so you guys actually get notified when I upload new videos. Again, it's going to be an interesting election, I think. And I am looking at the smaller parties and candidates because that's actually, I think they have a better chance of making change. And change is seriously what we need. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.